LeBron's career. First real injury of his career. I expect we'll see him again Thursday. He's not going to play tonight. I expect we will see him in the game after their game tonight. That would be my guess.
Yeah,
a little informed speculation.
Yeah, I'm just getting on the gram a little bit. I know some other people. LeBron's been very prominent on there as far as one of the most popular athletes. Jenna will bear her abs. Jenna will bear her abs on the gram. Yeah. I'm not that familiar with the gram yet to be doing that, but you got enough confidence. Do your thing, LeBron. Do your thing, Jenna.
It looks
Find
good.
Chris Carter on the gram. Jenna Wolf, you probably already found on the gram. She's an Instagram superstar.
You just joined recently.
Yeah, I'm getting it right. I just send takes. I don't even do pictures. I just take screenshots of takes.
All right, time for stories to start your morning. Zion Williamson had another great night in a Duke win over Notre Dame. Scored 26 points, grabbed 9 boards on just 12 shots. Nick, what else can you say about Zion?
I mean, he's the most surefire #1 overall pick since Anthony Davis. We were talking about him when he was in high school. And if you remember, after about 3 weeks of showing Zion highlights, I said, if this kid's the #3 recruit in his class, this must be the greatest recruiting class in the history of sports. Turns out he should have been the #1 kid in his class, and he should be the #1 pick of the draft. He is an unstoppable force in college basketball on both ends.
Yeah, and there were some people saying that Zion shouldn't play college. He should protect. You know how much better he's gotten in the last 30 days? Like, that's one of the most ridiculous things I've ever heard. You get better doing something by playing either or participating in it. So he's going to be so much better after the NCAA tournament and ready to be that
and
#1 pick.
And he's not a college running back where you can make the argument, you know what, wear and tear, significant injury. Like, no, he's a basketball player. Basketball players play basketball year-round. It's silly.
To the NBA now. Lonzo Ball has been linked to Anthony Davis trade rumors, but according to reports, Lonzo's camp would prefer he not stay with the Pelicans if traded there. Nick, what's your reaction to this preemptive request by Lonzo Ball?
Man, Big Baller Brand does stuff differently. Lonzo's going to unprecedented territory of requesting a trade from a team he's not yet on. I like this move. Now, I don't think the Pelicans going to listen to him. I don't think the Lakers give a damn what he wants. But Lonzo's saying, hey, this future team I'm not yet on, I don't want to be there. I don't know why he thinks he's got this type of leverage, but go ahead, Lonzo. See, do you, man.
Right, let me tell you, there's other teams you can go to, and he might end up somewhere. But let me tell you, that free throw line is still 15 feet. You need to figure out how to shoot from there. Instead of trying to figure out what's going to be your next team, there's some things you can work on as far as your game is concerned. Because no matter where you land, the free throw line is going to be 15 feet.
And if you're just worried about sitting behind Drew Holiday, the Pelicans trade Anthony Davis. Drew Holiday might be on his way out as well. Like, you could be the starting point guard in short order. Just chill, Big Baller Brand.
All right, finally, many have speculated this could be Rob Gronkowski's last game, especially since he talked about retiring last year. When Gronk was asked about this, he said retirement is one of the things on his mind. It's one of the last things on his mind. See? Do you think the Super Bowl could be Gronk's last game?
Oh, absolutely. You can only play football that way for so long. And people would like to present this as, oh, man, Gronk has a bunch of options. Okay, we got Tom Brady, 41, still trying to play. Yesterday said, hey, man, I'm going to play till I'm 45. I'm going to try to. And the reason why he can, because he can play at a high level. Gronk can't function at a high level playing that way, running people over. He struggled this year during the regular season like we hadn't seen. Now, in the playoffs, as a end-of-the-line blocker, as a motion blocker, he has been dominant. As a pass receiver, after that bye week, only playing those 2 games in 3 weeks after another bye week, he'll look good in the Super Bowl. They will get him in some situations. He will look good. It won't look like, man, this is this guy's last game, but it's inevitable. When you keep running into people and you come into the NFL with a bad back, all the injuries he's had, and the thing that's going to cause him besides that, he can't do like He can't do like Brady's done with Belichick. He can't deal with Belichick every day. And he's not going to say it, but that's one of the reasons why he's going to be walking away from the game, is because that intensity every single day, Rob Groonkowski, he can't do that for 10 years.
And he can't guarantee that Belichick won't trade him like Brady is now guaranteed.
He almost traded him this offseason.
Once you start, I would imagine this was true for you. once you started really considering retirement, not just the moment after a season ended being angry and upset, but into the offseason wondering if I'm coming back, the clock starts ticking on your expiration date as a player.
And it really starts to tick because you start entertaining different conversations.
Sure.
All the things that I had done as far as broadcasting, then I started having meetings with the executives that were on a different level. So even my mindset when I went back into my environment of training for the season, I had other things in my mind that polluted it, that it's impossible to be at your best when you got one foot in one career and another foot potentially in another career.
And when we talk about one of the most intoxicating things for an athlete is the roar of the crowd, with so much, I think, informed speculation surrounding Gronk and going into professional wrestling, I mean, they got crowds there too. Like, the roar of the crowd would be there. Like, the Royal Rumble was this weekend. You got 50,000 people standing and cheering. And so, Gronk also has the ability, because he is one of the few real brands in the NFL, to make legitimate money. Not NFL money, but legitimate money in his first few years out of the league. And I just don't know how much fun the season is for him at this point, when his body hurts the way it does. And when you're not the superstar player you once were. I imagine that's a little, when you used to be 15 touchdowns and now you're 5 touchdowns, I imagine that's a little tough. And so he almost retired last offseason. I'm not saying Gronk's, this is definitely his last game, but I think it's 60-40 odds in favor that this will be his last football game, especially if they win.
What do the Patriots need most from Rob Groonkowski this Sunday? Is it going to be his blocking?
Man, they've been special. Their offensive line, they got 90 dropbacks. They got 3 pressures, no sacks. I mean, to say that's not important, but I just think, just like Kansas City, Nick and I talked about the game last week leading up to the game, and he will be needed there. But in the end of the game, he is so valuable because there's no matchup. They don't have a linebacker that can guard him. They don't have one of their safeties that can guard him. So he's so valuable. That's the reason why he's an all-pro. The reason why Kelsey just passed him as the best tight end is because he's so good at both. He can do both at such a high level. If I had to take away one in this game, I would just say his receiving ability, because they're going to throw the ball to the running back and to Edelman. His ability to be able to stabilize that offensive line and block in the run game, I believe, is the #1 priority.
They don't have anyone else that can do his job in the blocking game.
No.
But they do have people that can do his job in the receiving game. But here is to C's point late in the game. Through the first 7 quarters of this postseason, and through basically the entirety of those 7 quarters, the Pats were up by 2 scores. Once you're midway through the first quarter against the Chargers, through the end of the game, and then the first 3 quarters against the Chiefs, Gronk had 4 catches for 53 yards total in those first 7 quarters. In that 4th quarter in OT against the Chiefs, when the game got close, he had 3 catches for 51 yards. They still have that in case of emergency break glass on Gronk, and they will use it. I would imagine they will use him both ways in this Super Bowl, and he'll want to be, particularly if he's thinking, even if he's saying it's the last thing on my mind, he knows this could be his last football game. He's going to want to go out making an impact.
All right, let's move on now to Anthony Davis. Boston has been long rumored to be a potential landing spot for AD, but according to reports, the Celtics are not a top priority for the Brow. In addition, there's a growing belief that Kyrie Irving will not sign a long-term deal with the Celtics. Not a great day to be Danny Ainge. Nick, what do you make of the Celtics situation? Here we go.
I mean, I hate to say I told you so, but
Well, I'll say it for him. My buddy, he told us. He told us long time ago when Kyrie, when he originally made the trade demands, he told us the inside story behind LeBron. It wasn't LeBron's fault. LeBron was emphatic. Man, hey, he'll get over it.
bring him back and we'll figure it out.
Man, we'll work this out. Do not trade Kyrie. And in Kyrie's trade demands, he didn't demand going to Boston. Nick had gotten the intel, his couple sources. He's building his resume. He came in with like a third of a source. Now he's got like a combined
He's got
3.
one.
Yeah. His one. So he was on this saying Kyrie would not be in